Most of us spend our lives chasing love, chasing approval, chasing success, chasing people who barely notice we exist. And we wonder, why does life feel so exhausting? Why does happiness always seem just one step out of reach? But what if I told you it's because you're running in the wrong direction? The peace you're looking for, the confidence, the love, the success, they're not out there somewhere waiting to be found. They're already inside you, waiting to be built. The moment you stop looking outward and start working inward, your entire life shifts. That's when everything, your relationships, your goals, your happiness, begins to fall into place effortlessly. Most people spend their whole lives believing that happiness, love, and success are things they need to chase. They run after other people's approval, they seek validation from strangers, and they try to fit into molds that were never designed for them in the first place. And in that chase, they lose themselves. They become exhausted, burnt out, and still, ironically, unfulfilled. But the truth is so much simpler, and yet so much harder for us to accept. Everything you are searching for is already within you. The peace you want, it's found in how you talk to yourself when no one's watching. The love you crave, it's built in the moments you choose to respect yourself rather than lower your standards for temporary affection. And the success you're after, it's hiding in your daily habits, your focus, and your relentless commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. When you finally stop giving your energy to the wrong people and places, when you stop asking, what do they think of me? And start asking, what do I think of myself? That's when your life begins to change. I get it. It's tempting to want people to like you. It feels good when someone compliments you, texts you first, invites you out. But here's the trap. The moment your happiness depends on whether or not someone else notices your worth, you've handed them the keys to your peace of mind. And that's a dangerous place to live, because people are unpredictable. Some will love you, some will misunderstand you, and some will leave without explanation. If your happiness is built on them, then your happiness leaves when they do. But when your happiness is built on how you show up in your life, how you treat yourself, how you push yourself to grow every single day, it becomes untouchable. No one can take that from you. This is what focusing on yourself really means. It doesn't mean you isolate yourself from the world or become cold and detached. It means you build a life so rich in meaning and purpose that other people become the bonus, not the foundation. You stop sitting around waiting for a text from someone who doesn't value you because you're too busy working out, learning something new, spending time with people who uplift you, or chasing your own goals. And it's funny, isn't it? The moment you stop chasing people is the moment the right ones start showing up. The moment you stop begging life to give you what you want and start becoming the person who deserves what you want, the universe starts aligning things in your favor. It's like life is just waiting for you to finally bet on yourself. But let's be honest, this isn't easy. It takes discipline to focus on yourself. It takes courage to stop scrolling through social media, comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel. It takes emotional strength to be okay with not being liked by everyone. And it takes patience, because results don't happen overnight. You may spend months or years working on yourself, and it may feel lonely at times, but you're building something real, something permanent. You're creating a life where your joy isn't borrowed from someone else's approval. And that's worth every uncomfortable moment along the way. The reality is, energy is a limited resource. Every moment you spend overthinking what someone said, stalking someone's social media, or wondering if you're good enough, is energy you could have spent creating a better you. And when you redirect that energy into reading books, exercising, learning your skills, surrounding yourself with positive influences, healing your emotional wounds, you start to transform. Slowly but surely, you become someone who doesn't need to chase validation because your self-worth is rooted in something deeper. Your confidence stops being a mask and becomes your natural state. And something beautiful happens when you focus on yourself. You stop trying to control everything. You stop needing everything to go your way. You let go of people who aren't meant to stay. You stop trying to force love, and instead, you let love find you when you're ready for it. You release the constant need for everything to be perfect, and instead, you focus on progress. And in that process of letting go, things begin to fall into place. The friendships you used to beg for, now they come naturally. The opportunities you thought were out of reach, now they feel within your grasp. The peace of mind you couldn't find before, it becomes your new normal. But here's what I really want you to understand. This journey is not about being selfish. It's about being responsible. Responsible for your energy, your time, your mental health. Because no one else is coming to save you. No one else is going to wake you up every morning and tell you to go work out or read that book or protect your peace. That's on you. And when you accept that responsibility, you take your power back. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the creator of your life. The most magnetic people in the world aren't the ones who try to please everyone. And the ones who try to please everyone, they're the ones who are deeply aligned with themselves. They walk into a room and you can feel their energy, not because they're loud or flashy, but because they're comfortable in their own skin. And you can be that person. But it starts with choosing yourself every single day. It starts with asking yourself, what do I need to feel proud of who I am today? And then actually doing it, even when it's hard, even when no one's watching. So stop waiting for the world to give you permission to feel good enough. Stop waiting for someone to validate your worth. Start today. Start now. Build the habits that your future self will thank you for. Focus on yourself so fiercely, so unapologetically, that everything else falls into place. Not because you forced it to, but because you finally became the kind of person who attracts it naturally. And that, my friend, is where your power truly begins. You have to understand that the moment you shift your focus from the outside world to your own growth, everything in your life starts aligning in ways you couldn't have imagined. But it doesn't happen because the world suddenly becomes easier. It happens because you become stronger, wiser, and more prepared to handle it. People spend their whole lives asking why things aren't working out for them. They blame their circumstances, they blame other people, they blame luck. But what they don't realize is that life reflects back what you are, not what you wish for. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So if you're chaotic inside, your life will be chaotic. If you're insecure inside, your relationships will be insecure. But when you find peace within yourself, when you take the time to know who you are, what you value, and what you're willing to tolerate, suddenly the noise of the world quiets down. Suddenly, the opinions of others don't shake you the way they used to. Suddenly, rejection isn't devastation, it's redirection. But here's the uncomfortable part. This kind of focus takes sacrifice. You'll have to say no to distractions. You'll have to stop spending your nights endlessly scrolling through social media, comparing your life to people who don't even know you exist. You'll have to distance yourself from friends who drain your energy rather than refill it. You'll have to step back from unhealthy habits that numb your pain but don't heal it. And in the short term, this can feel lonely. It can feel like you're losing everything, but in reality, you're making space. Space for better people. Space for bigger opportunities. Space for the peace that can't live in a life that's constantly cluttered with noise and chaos. The emptiness you feel at first isn't permanent. It's preparation. It's life clearing out the temporary so it can bring you the meaningful. And when you start building yourself, you begin to notice how much power you were giving away before. Every time you let someone's opinion ruin your day, every time you chased after someone's attention, every time you lowered your standards just to not be alone, you gave a piece of yourself away. But the moment you take that power back, you begin to walk differently. You speak with more conviction. You carry yourself with a quiet confidence that doesn't scream for attention but simply exists, undeniable and strong. That's when people start noticing you, not because you're begging for it, but because there's something about you they can't ignore. That's the energy of someone who's done the inner work, someone who no longer needs approval to feel worthy. But remember, this isn't about perfection. You're going to have days where you feel lost again. Days when you slip back into old patterns, question your worth, or feel the pull of your past calling you back. That's okay. Growth isn't linear. Progress is messy. What matters is that you keep coming back to yourself. You remind yourself why you started this journey in the first place. You pick yourself back up and keep going. Because focusing on yourself isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily commitment. It's choosing every morning to prioritize your peace, your growth, and your happiness, even when it's hard, even when it would be easier to go back to your old ways. And you'll notice something incredible as you continue down this path. The things you used to chase will start chasing you. The love you were so desperate to find will find you without force. The success you thought was so far away will start showing up, not because you begged for it, but because you became the kind of person success is drawn to. And the friendships that felt so rare before will begin to appear effortlessly because you've created a life where only genuine people fit in. Life falls into place when you stop trying to control everything and start controlling yourself, your habits, your mindset, your reactions. That's where your power lives. Stop waiting for the perfect start now. Start with where you are, with what you have. Focus on the things you can control, how you spend your time, who you surround yourself with, what thoughts you feed your mind, and let the rest take care of itself. You don't have to have all the answers today. You just have to be willing to take the next right step. And let me tell you something else. When you truly focus on yourself, you stop seeing others as competition. You stop feeling the need to compare your journey to theirs. You realize that someone else's success isn't your failure. Someone else's beauty doesn't take away from yours. Someone else's love story doesn't mean you'll never have your own. You begin to operate from abundance, not scarcity. And from that place, life feels lighter. You stop carrying the weight of jealousy, insecurity, and resentment. Instead, you carry gratitude, peace, and purpose. So ask yourself today, what am I focusing on? Am I focusing on who I wish I was, or am I working on becoming that person? Am I pouring my energy into things that drain me or things that build me? And if the answer is the wrong one, change it right now, because your life will only ever rise to the level of your focus. If you focus on problems, you'll find more problems. If you focus on problems, you'll find more problems. How does this summer impact you? If you focus on growth, you'll find more opportunities to grow. This is your life. No one else gets to live it for you. No one else is responsible for your happiness. The world owes you nothing, but you owe yourself everything. So start today. Focus on yourself, not because the world is against you, but because you are for you. And when you truly live that way, everything else will fall into place. Maybe not immediately, maybe not perfectly, but eventually and beautifully. Oh my God. So, how common is it today to have boundary issues?